Hi, my name is Dorothy Onyango. I'm a woman living with HIV for 33 years now. I am a mother of three, two handsome boys and a beautiful girl. And I have teenage grandchildren, 17 and 14, 15. As I mentioned, I'm a woman living with HIV, and I was diagnosed in 1990. And after that, I joined a movement of people living with HIV. And from there was a meeting that was coming up in Amsterdam in 1992. And I happened to attend that conference. I met with women who are HIV positive, and I think it was during the International AIDS Conference in Amsterdam on AIDS. So out of the 54 women who were in that meeting, we were all HIV positive women, and we did not really know what we would expect when we get to Amsterdam. But when we got to Amsterdam, there were really beautiful women. Because back home we were seeing people on billboards who were emaciated. So what I thought I would see was women in stretchers, carried in stretchers, women who are thin, emaciated. But apparently there were women who are beautiful. And from this 54, 24 was from Africa. Unfortunately, all of them have gone to be with the Lord. So it's only myself, Dorothy, another lady from Uganda called Awino, and another one from Zimbabwe, but she lives in the UK. When I came back from Amsterdam, I took it upon myself to support women living with HIV. Of course, I did not say it openly then that I was HIV positive, but it was my responsibility because I had the opportunity to go to Amsterdam to represent a number of women who are HIV positive back home. So for me, when I came back, I started an organization in 1994, which is called Women Fighting AIDS in Kenya, WOFAC. And my aim is to empower women living with HIV, to give them information, and that particular time, HIV was very highly stigmatized. So we would not open up, even as women living with HIV, we would just say we are helping those people. But of course, we knew we were passing information so that anybody who is infected could come, we could console ourselves as women living with HIV. And I think the first activities that we started with was having group therapy sessions where women would come together, share their experiences, talk about the challenges. Some had lost their husbands, some had lost their children. And that particular time, there was no medication. So we were actually living positively. So by meeting together, it was just a way of consoling one another. For me, I think I lived with HIV, I lived positively for 15 years without taking medication. But of course, I took all kinds of concoctions that out of desperation, somebody tells you, okay, there's this herbal here you can take, and you go. I remember there's a time I even took my urine because I attended a conference in Yokohama, and somebody presented that they take their urine, first urine in the morning, some Indian person. So when I came back home, I said, okay, there's a cure here. So when I came home, I started taking. I think I took for 3 days. Every morning I would vomit, and I said, I can go. Let it be. Anyway, to cut a long story short, in 2004, I got TB, and I knew TB was deadly. So that is how I started taking medication for TB for 6 months. And after that, I got into ARVs because I said I'm not dying, because I know TB is lethal, and my CD4 count, I think, had gone down also to about 200. So I started taking ARVs, and I have never looked back. Of course, as time moved on, our activities expanded. Apart from just care and support, we also thought that it was important as people living with HIV to also give information on how you can get HIV, or on how if you have HIV you can be able to live with it. We have sessions on treatment, adherence for people living with HIV so that they could stick to their medications. And of course, as time went on, we had young people who have been born with HIV, and therefore, like when you start an HIV activity, it's one activity after the other. Because like now we realize that there are many other young people who are being infected with HIV or born with HIV. And of course then we had programs for these persons living with HIV, mostly on sexual reproductive health, because these young people also want to have a family, and therefore it was important that we include everybody on board so that they have information for those who want to have a family and have children. They will be able to do so easily through our support groups and through the outreaches that we carry out as an organization. So for me as a person, I really feel good to see women who have gone through WAFACT, live long, they have married, they have gone back to school, they have had children who are negative, so that really makes me happy. And that happiness also helps me to also live longer, because you're supporting those people to live their lives, but then at the same time, it also helps you as an individual. If I look back where we came from, and we were not talking only about HIV, we are talking about AIDS. So I can see there's a lot of progress that has been made since. We didn't have medication, now we have medication. We advocated for it and we got it. Right now, HIV is no longer a priority to many countries. But then as people living with HIV, it's our responsibility to ensure that we are at the table. And during our meeting today, you realize they said that we are at the same level. When the patron said we are at the same level with everybody else, it's not about, oh, my husband died, my house was burnt, or so. We have to fight for it. And I think as people living with HIV, and especially women, we have a very strong will to ensure that in 2030 we will have no more children born with HIV. It might not be eradicated completely, but I think if we put more efforts, if we work together, if we form a movement, a regional movement, then I believe that we will be able to get to 2030 with really probably just a few who are still getting infected. But I think as women living with HIV, we have done our best, but we are not stopping there. And you can also realize that now we are also aging with HIV. And therefore, it's just what I was saying, one thing comes after the other. We were taking medication and we were living every other day. You didn't know you'd wake up tomorrow, And right now, I've lived for over 33 years with HIV. It doesn't bother me anymore, because it's just to take that pill and I move on. And I know that really I will die a natural death like anybody else. And that is what we also want for our younger people. So yes, if we come together, we will be able to manage the HIV scourge, and also ensure that those who are living with HIV are living longer and healthier lives. I think I really got emotional because many a times people do not recognize the work that we do. I might look at it like any other thing that I'm doing, but it is touching people's lives. And I was not expecting that I would be the award winner. Of course, I thought probably I would be among them, but not the one chosen out to be the one to be awarded. So that is why I got emotional. And I think I also got emotional because when people were introducing themselves, they kept on saying, Dorothy, I've gone through Dorothy, I passed through WAFAC. And I told myself, oh, so I'm appreciated that much, because sometimes when you're doing your job, it's probably a drop in the ocean. You don't realize that it touches somebody's life. But then I was touched because I said, oh, thank God, I have done something, I have touched their lives. Probably it would just be that group therapy, they came and they ate and, and they met with other people and it changed their life. But for me, I feel really glad that these people can recognize me as Dorothy. I was touched. I'm really touched. I don't know whether to say I'm a fierce woman, but today I've been made to be a fierce woman because of the work that I do. And I really appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to having many, many more fierce women. Lucy, and the Secretariat, and Lillian from the East African region. I don't know what to say, but just to say that I'm really happy that you have honored me with a special honor. And just like you say, this is you're doing before somebody goes and then you're talking about their story. But you have done it when I'm still alive. I really feel very honored. I am so happy. Oh my goodness.
It's okay.
Actually, this is my first time to attend one. I know there have been other awards before that I benefited, but I was not able to attend the meeting. But for the Fierce Award, I think this is the first time, and that's why I was even getting emotional that I just knew it. Actually, I knew about it last week when when Lucy put it on the WhatsApp group. So I said, okay, let me try. But then I said, anyway, let me just try like anybody else. And I didn't expect that it would happen, because of course I have had other awards. I've been awarded by the president President Moi, second president, OGWBT, Order of the Grand Warrior of Kenya. Then I was also awarded by the fourth president, again Order of the Grand Warrior of Kenya for my work was recognized in the community. So for community, this is the first one. So because this is exactly what is me, the community, the grassroots. So it really makes me feel great. I think such campaigns is an eye-opener for women, especially young women, to work even harder and work closely with their constituency, look at their goals, what do they want to achieve, and just have more visibility on the work that women especially, because women do a lot of work. You are the mother, you are the husband, you are the wife, you are going to work, and you are HIV positive, and you are a caregiver, you are taking care of all those. So this is it's an eye-opener, and it's a great movement, and I believe it will help us even work harder. I think for me is to tell women with HIV, especially young people, that they should not give up. Remember I told you when I was talking, I said I went back to school because when I got HIV, I didn't have a degree. And for me, it was not because I wanted to look for a job once I get the degree. I wanted to show young people that HIV is not the end of the world. And HIV does not stop you from going to school. So I did my undergraduate, I graduated. Right now, I'm currently waiting to graduate for my master's in leadership. And already you see my age. So nobody's going to employ me, but it is for me, deep down from my heart, to show the upcoming young people that they can do anything that they want. They can go back to school. They can get married, they can do anything. They should not give up, especially in terms of being leaders. They should not give up at all. Life must continue just like any other.